Good evening, students. Welcome to day two in the new year, and we'll be starting a new chapter. So, our e-chocolate, the winner today is Jesh, Dhyanesh, Vedika, Jyoti, then Lakshmi, Pritika, Kushi, uh, Lalit Priya, Manoj, Tanisha, Shushil, Priyanka. So, good evening to all. So, let us start today's session. So, more updates are there. So, we have Chakshu, Shreya, Mohammad Abid, Sushil. Yeah. Okay. So standard disclaimers. E-commerce, M-commerce, and emerging technology. So I think of the five chapters, the chapter that you all will be very much familiar is going to be this chapter, e-commerce, M-commerce, and emerging technologies. So we'll talk about it, learn through again. See, I'll be giving you a live case to do today during the session. So keep your ideas ready. We'll be merging chapter one, business process automation, to chapter four, and then I'll ask you to write something in steps. Okay, so let us continue. Now, what exactly is the theme behind this chapter? Understand the meaning, components, and architecture of e-commerce, grasp the knowledge about the process flows in e-commerce transactions, recognize the applicable laws and guidance governing e-commerce transactions. So, basically, what we are looking at, the whole idea about what is e-commerce, what are the key components, what is the process flow, what technologies are there, and what applicable laws are there for e-commerce, m-commerce transaction. Comprehend the various risk and controls in respect of e-commerce. So, see, we all understand now that whenever you have something that is new in technology, any new system that you have, that system is going to have its own set of risk, and to mitigate the risk, we will have to put in place controls to it. So the whole idea about vulnerability assessment, threat identification, risk assessment, having mitigation control against risk, controls will be in nature of preventive, detective, corrective. So all those parameters apply to any aspect that is being used, that is being uh, new aspect of doing business, or any technology that you adopt. So any system that you can imagine, this idea is applicable for all those things. Then acknowledge basic understanding on paradigms of various computing technologies, cloud computing, grid computing, mobile computing, green computing, BYOD. I'll be talking more. We will be talking of AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Then we did talk about a concept of IoT, Internet of Things, in chapter one. So these all technologies we'll be talking about, just creating a more interaction with you. So I'm asking a question. Okay, so you have to, in the chat, you have to say that from the list that I am giving to you, this is a future technology. Future technology means, for us right now, the definition of future is that this technology is not used now. It is going to be used in future. So I'm giving you a list. Just keep a tag of it. Most of the items are on the slide. I want you to answer in the chat box which of the technologies that we are going to talk about now, that I'm going to list to you, is a future technology that is not used today, but probably sometime ahead it is going to be used. So I'm reading. So the options are cloud computing, grid computing, mobile computing, green computing, BYOD. These are on this slide itself. Then add to the options AI, artificial intelligence, add to the option ML, machine learning, add to the option IoT, Internet of Things. So 5 and 3. Out of these 8, you have to tell which of the technology is a future technology not being used today. Okay, so that is how we will be going ahead. We'll be talking good on all these technologies and see the practical application and how these technologies are affecting the way we all work. Okay. So let us start with the chapters. So introduction, components, architecture, workflow diagram for e-commerce, risk and controls relating to e-commerce, guidelines and law governing e-commerce. So we'll be taking this one by one. So I've got the answers. So green computing just says, Piyush says green computing, Manoj also green computing. Manjunath says AI. Vinay says green computing, machine learning. Anuradha says BYOD. BYOD is bring your own device. For those who might have heard the word for the first time, BYOD stands for bring your own device. To make it as simple as that, we talked about large technology companies in India. They have employees more than 3 lakh, 2 lakh employees. So these companies allow their employees to bring their own laptop and use on company's system, use in the corporation, use in the entity. So that is BYOD, bring your own device. Then Shreya says grid computing, Dhyanesh grid computing, Jyoti says mobile computing, Radha says green computing, Alok says BYOD, Karthik, future technology, AI, ML, uh, present technology, cloud computing, grid computing. Okay. Achal says IoT, Internet of Things. Dhyanesh says machine learning, and Ashwath, yeah, says artificial intelligence. So, okay. So all the answers are incorrect because whatever names we talked about, all these technologies are actually being used. So none of them is a future technology. I wanted that understanding to get to you. So all technologies are used today. The only difference would be the extent of use those technologies are being, the number of people, the organizations, the individuals, how many are using these technologies. But none is a future technology. They are all being used today. Some may be for a high end use, but they are being used today. So none of the technology is a future use technology. We'll be talking about it, Jasprit. It is part of the syllabus. Yeah, yeah. It is part of the syllabus, Jasprit. We have a good discussion on each of this. Okay. So it was a yes, just so it was a tricky question. The idea behind creating the question was that to bring this awareness to all of us that all these words that we are going to talk about in this chapter, that you are going to hear time and again as we discuss, as we go through the chapter, none of the word is like it is non-existent in use. They are all being used. That is very important. We'll try to link the usage of these technologies to life in general, usage of these technologies to life for practicing chartered accountant or chartered accountant per se as a professional. So we'll try to learn as much as we can. And again, we'll be doing practical. I'll be sharing lot and lot of practical examples with you. Okay. Yes, I understand, Dhanesh. I realize that, and that is why we are here. So the whole idea about our discussion is to help us understand the idea, the concept behind the technologies, so that that much remembrance becomes easy. When your understanding is good, your concepts are good, your remembrance becomes easy. That much easy it becomes to recall in your examination. So that adds to the number of marks, because we have not talked about this topic since long. Again, at a cost of repetition, as a cost of benchmark, we have set for ourselves, we all want to score at least 80% marks in the subject. That level of intensity we need to bring into the subject. So that is why whenever I start my lecture, I always have that slide that this subject per se for me is practical. And believe me, not a single word in the whole module comes from out of the earth. It comes from practical applications only. So the only thing we need to do is visualize it happening. That is why all those examples we have been talking about. I've been bringing as much practicality to the discussion so that understanding gets good. Yeah, Piyush, it is part of the discussion. So don't worry. We'll be talking about it. Green technology is part of our discussion. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So let us start. So we'll be talking about all this. Then digital payments, computing technologies. Here, all these words we talked about are going to be discussed. case studies. I've created MCQ, that is case study based. You must have gone through. Today we'll be doing a live case study. So what we'll be doing, merging some concept in the earlier chapter to what you are going to learn in this chapter, and then I'll ask you to submit some answers in the chat. Okay. Now, e-commerce. So say, the definition is simple. You may remember it with more examples. Sale, purchase of goods, services through electronic mode is e-commerce. This it could include use of technology in form of computer, desktop, mobile, laptops, PDAs, everything. So wherever you are doing, the sale purchase is being done through the use of technology, through use of these devices. In fact, you could say without moving from your own location. So without going to the shop, you are able to sale, purchase, avail the services, order for the goods. All this is part of e-commerce, m-commerce, the way things are going ahead. And because we are at start of the chapter, let us understand that uh, COVID March 2020 had been a great uh, crisis for the world, for us at individual level, at family level, at economic level. It was a crisis for whole of the world. In India, one of the things that we all learned during COVID, one of, you could say, a silver lining like that, that the use of technology has enhanced to phenomenal level. In fact, just yesterday I read in the newspaper, we talked about this UPI payment. So the digital payment of UPI, the volume that India generated in December month. So it was in the news item. I just kept a tag of it. I'm sharing that with you just for the understanding that the topic, the chapter you're talking about, you're trying to learn, the intensity of the chapter is so huge. So during the December month, the number of UPI transactions, the digital payments, has been more than, I'm talking of quantity of transaction, then I share the value of transaction also, has been more than 780 crore in 1 month. Please understand, more than 780 crores in 1 month. And the total value associated with the quantity of transaction has been more than 12 lakh crore. 780 करोड़ यूपीआई ट्रांजेक्शन एक महीने में और 12 लाख करोड़ का ट्रांजेक्शन रुपए में. It's unimaginable. It's huge. So that is what has come across. And today, the geopolitics, the Russia-Ukraine war that we all know about, it is affecting all of us. So the across the world, all countries, including few developed countries, also are looking to us, India, and they are asking Indian government that can you share this? Can you create our network for UPI? Can you create a platform in their country so that UPI payment they can use? Because the key enabler of UPI has been that you need not physically move, you need not carry things like that. So it is a phenomenal thing that has come about when you talk about this technology, the way it has come about. Okay. So, yeah. Yes, Parthasarthi has got the exact figure. Good. So just understand that much impact this technology is having on the way we are doing business. So that is e-commerce, m-commerce. That is the point. And the core impact is the way you do business. In fact, today, virtually all websites, all e-merchants work 24/7. So you can order anytime. First, you can order any place. Third, you need not physically go to the e-commerce website, or sorry, you need not physically go to the shop to buy. So we'll be talking about this, the impact it has had on all of us. So e-commerce is a process of doing business electronically. It refers to the use of technology to enhance the processing of commercial transaction between company, its customers, and its business partners. It involves the automation of variety of B2B, business to business transaction, and B2C, business to consumer transaction through reliable and secure connections. So that has been a great enabler, this e-commerce. So lot of interactions are going. Now what I want, so let us start our interaction here itself. I want you to write in the chat uh, few B2B e-commerce merchant. B2B means business is dealing with business and it is being done online, e-commerce, m-commerce mode, and B2C. So B2C, we all know. Okay, all this online purchase, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Snapdeal, Jabong, these are all B2C. What I'm asking you to answer is B2B sellers. So B2B, I want this to be linked to the idea behind this, your GST. So if a business to business sale is there, so the buyer can get the GST credit. So I want you to tell B2B websites which are there where you can do e-commerce, m-commerce or online transactions. Okay. Then when now we are going to talk about the traditional commerce and its difference to e-commerce, some examples of e-commerce transactions, benefits, disadvantages, e-marketing and e-commerce business model. So I've got the answer. Few I may myself not be updated, so I'll accept if they are correct. Okay, so I leave that with you. Alibaba, Meesho, I don't know they are exactly B2B, but because you have said, I'm accepting that. So you can the buyer from these websites, he or she or it can give its their GST details and they can get the credit for GST if it is B2B. So I'll accept that. Then India Mart B2B seller, yeah, that is specific that I know. GeoMart, I'll accept that. GoDaddy, I'll accept. Alibaba. Udan India, okay, I'll take that. NSDL share my, yeah, good. So that is very good. Amazon business, yes, I was waiting for Lalit Priya. Great. Amazon has a retail portion and it has a business portion. So if you register on the business portion, you give your GST details, so you can get your GST credits also. Shopify, see it. Okay, if it is online, it can be B2B. Suppose I'm a transporter, I can buy truck tires and truck components, tires from that website. Great. No, Munaga Nuri, if I pronounce Monica, let me do Monica. So please understand what we are looking for. Okay, so she said hospitals tie with insurance company. Yes, I'll accept that. Okay, done. India Mart. So Anuradha has that when Zomato is taking food from the restaurant, it is B2B, and when Zomato is delivering it to the consumer or the user or the person who has ordered that, it is B2C. It's a good example. Very good. Then WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Magneto, Car Bazaar, and then you can add more to it. Okay. So now we get it. So much is there to be done, to be learned, and so many options are there in this space of e-commerce and m-commerce. Okay. So let us take these headers one by one. They are easy to understand. If you have any query, do put. But I think this whole part is easy. So this question in examination may come that how traditional commerce and e-commerce are differing to each other. So wake up. So traditionally you had alarm clocks with snooze button. Now everything is mobile driven. Okay. So there are multiple types of mobile alarms available. Procurement, you had to go to shop. Now you can do it online. And physical shops, there is restriction on the hours it is open. But online, you can buy 24/7. And in fact, we have talked about in chapter 1 also that there are few online delivery sites which are online e-merchants which are delivering products to you within a span of 12 hours. In fact, I did read, but it is subject to confirmation that few of these online retailers are delivering you in these our big metros within 2 hours/4 hours. So that much automation has been brought, that much business has been created on this delivery side through online mode. Then traditional e-commerce by definition includes all activities which encourage exchange in some way or the other, goods and services which are manual, non-electronic. E-commerce means carrying out commercial transactions or exchange of information electronically or internet. Transaction processing is manual. E-commerce, it is electronical. You do it online. Availability for e-commerce transaction is 24/7 into 365, and availability for commercial transaction is limited time. So it may be 10 hours, 12 hours, as the shopkeeper decides, and as per the local regulations also, because there are cities where they want all markets to close by 8 p.m., 10 p.m. So that becomes a regulated aspect also. E-commerce you can do online at comfort of your home office. Anytime it can be done. Nature of purchase. Yes, this is a key uh, benefit for traditional commerce. Suppose I want to buy mango. So if I want to buy mango, and now sometime ahead we'll get into the mango season. So I want to buy mango, and there are very good varieties of mango across India. So each state has a very good variety. So few that we all talk about, Alfonso comes from the Maharashtra Ratnagiri belt. Those of you know it. Then Kesar comes from Gujarat. Langda comes from, I think, it comes from UP. The cherry comes from UP. Then Totapari is one that you get from one of the southern states. So virtually each state has its own variety of mango. And now you want to buy it. So the whole idea of buying a mango online without touching it or feeling it or having a smell of it is a disincentive to buy mango online. So that is one thing that e-commerce is never going to come up. So that gap is always going to be there. So you can inspect, physically see the goods in traditional commerce, which is not possible in e-commerce. Then in traditional commerce, you can have a good interaction with the shopkeeper. Talk about if there's a product feedback, it's immediate. You buy it, you give the feedback there. But e-commerce, it is a screen-based interaction. Business scope, yes, this is a difference. Business scope for traditional commerce is limited to particular area, but sorry, traditional is limited, but e-commerce you can have a global reach. This is very important. Resource information exchange. So no information, uniform platform for exchange of information. So every shopkeeper has his, her, or its own way of delivering goods, selling goods, billing counters. So everyone does as per his, her, or its understanding of business. In e-commerce, lot of standardization is there. The way you are going to buy the product, the way the payment is going to be made, the way refunds, goods will be returned. Once you return the goods, how you are going to claim the refund, what is the time period of getting a refund. So in e-commerce, these are generally standardized, but in traditional, that you don't have a standard format for all these activities relating to sale, purchase, payment, billing, delivery of goods. Then next is very important, resource focus is supply side, demand side. Yes, this you need to get an understanding. You need to multiply with this with your knowledge about, say, costing, business decision making. Supply side is basically the goods are there, the buyers are going to come, I am going to sell. Demand side is that the buyer gives an order, based on the order I deliver. You all have read that, takes you to your part B of this paper 7, strategic management. So for luxury goods, you generally have a demand side format. For normal goods, you have a supply side format. But in e-commerce, even for normal, you could create a benchmark that is different, because what e-commerce website is going to do, it is going to collect orders, say, from as many customers in a day, and give a 7-day delivery period. So within those 7 days, if the product could be manufactured based on that. So supply side and demand side. Supply sides are generally low cost goods, demand sides are luxury goods, but e-commerce platform allow you to convert the low cost good also in demand side sales. That ensures, suppose I am a manufacturer and I am selling through e-commerce portal, I need not block my capital to create a stock of the goods. What I can do, just get the orders and then supply. Okay. Now, after we two topics we discuss, then I'm going to bring a interesting learning. Okay, we have talked about this case. Then marketing is one way. One way means the seller is to the buyer. Here 1 to 1 means The seller, the e-commerce merchant is directly talking to that specific person. Payment, that I'm not reading. In traditional commerce, delivery is instant. You pay, bring the product home. But e-commerce, it is being delivered over a number of days. If the product is that has to be manufactured and supplied, it could be week also. But big e-commerce merchants have started delivering that we talked about within 2 hours, 4 hours in Indian metro cities also. Then in traditional commerce, chance of cheating is not zero, but the chance of cheating is low because you are there, you are buying a product. You inquire about the product at the time it is being, at the time you are at the shop. In e-commerce, the chance of this fraud is very high. Process, because of the manual processing of business transaction, chance of clerical error are high, of course. So now this traditional commerce merchant, traditional sellers also use some technology. They use barcodes or QR code to read the product price and description. So they are also using technology, but because it's a manual process, chance of error are high. In e-commerce, that level of chances low first, and e-commerce can manage its inventory very well. There's a word, if you can read at the just bottom of the slide, JIT, just in time. So that helps manage their inventory, their working capital, and it helps manage their cash flows also and cost of capital also. Profit impact. Yes. So it is one of the things that is uh, allowing people to move from traditional to e-commerce. We did talk about it in a different format. I'll bring that. The cost incurred on the chain for traditional commerce is how does product come to a retailer? So there is a manufacturer of the product. Manufacturer sends to depot in each state. From the depot, it is delivered to the wholesaler. From the wholesaler, it is delivered to retailer. So there are 3 or 4 people interacting in this chain. Okay. But in e-commerce, the manufacturer, they have created, you have given example that manufacturers have created their online sales portal. So through which they directly sell to the buyer, to the customer. Now it is benefiting the manufacturer because manufacturer need not share the profit with many people in between. It also helps the buyer because manufacturer may reduce the price of the products because the profit is not to be shared with other people. So it helps both ways. Now, these are the steps. Now let us read. You had something to say. Just I was waiting for, because we are talking of only e-commerce. So please understand. Uh, so the definition of e-commerce merges in m-commerce. Whatever I do electronically through use of technology, through use of internet, through use of applications, what you call as apps. And when I'm doing all this thing on my mobile, this e-commerce transaction converts into m-commerce. That is as simple as that. So no confusions to be carried. So I'll take Lalit Priya B2B. Yeah. I was missing the name. Bagan Palli, the name of the mango. Good. Thank you. I was missing the name. It's a vulnerability. Yes. So e-commerce had that vulnerability of fraud. Okay. So in traditional commerce, you don't know the discount. So, okay, that is how it is. So this is the difference. Now, what you see on screen is the way e-commerce transaction goes. So you all have done it. So there is nothing new to learn from what is there. So illustration, how the transaction is going to run through. So go to website, scan the product service listed, select the product service you wish to procure, go to the payment link, verify selected payments while payment options you have while making payment. Then select the payment, complete the payment, and get delivery as per terms. Now, this we've talked about. Now, what I'll be doing, I'm going back to the previous one. we have talked about a case, okay, or a snack seller in my hometown who was a traditional seller, but during COVID, you know what that snack seller did? I shared that case with you. Just see what aspect. So what I'm doing, I'm putting that case again to you, and then I'll be asking. We'll be learning through this case that the snack seller, what the person did, he created a simple Google form. With this Google form, he created a payment link. He ensured that the Google form was shared across the city on all WhatsApp groups. So you share on one WhatsApp group, it automatically goes to the whole of the city. The people who want to give a order, they will click on the Google form, select the product, submit, a bill will be generated. You make a payment online, you get a payment receipt, and that snack seller would ensure that the goods are delivered to you within 24 hours. So they had a timeline that if you place the order today by 7, next morning by 12 noon, the products will be delivered to you. So they went through this timeline. Now that was a traditional merchant, but then he adopted technology. So as soon as the technology was adopted, now the next topic is exactly relating to this case. So remember this case, when we go to this topic heading, benefits of e-commerce, you start recalling that. Okay. Yes. Yes, Mohammed. Snack seller followed these steps. Now benefits of e-business. So now we'll be linking that to this one. So benefits to customer, individual user, benefits to business, seller, benefits to government. Now, I don't want to go into the topic like this. What I want, the snack seller cases to you. I've told you that the snack seller created a Google form, linked it to a payment gateway, get an order, deliver by next day noon. What this case, I want you to write, what are the benefits snack seller had? So what you can say, B2C, so benefit to customer. So whatever answer you give, I want you to write benefit to customer and put your what benefit customer got. Suppose you want to say benefit to business. So B2B, what benefit business got. Suppose you want to say B2G, business to benefit to government. So what benefits government got. So this case, and I want you to tell me what benefits were there due to this effort by the snack seller to the customers, to the individual, to the user, to the business, to the sellers, and to the government. So just start giving feedback on each of the aspects. Danish, listen to this carefully. E-commerce, or let us make it like this. E-commerce is a definition. What is e-commerce? Where I buy, sell products, goods and services electronically through an online mode, through internet, through use of technology. Now, when all this, I am doing this activity of buying, selling, ordering goods and products and services, it is e-commerce. When I'm doing this activity through mobile, it becomes m-commerce. So to make it easy, mobile commerce is a application side of e-commerce, or mobile. When I say m-commerce, it has an inherent assumption built into it that whatever electronic commerce I am doing it through using a device. That device in the given case is mobile. So that I call as m-commerce, mobile commerce. That is. Okay, so I've got the answer. I'll read the answer and then we'll go to the slide. So once I get the answers from you, your understanding is going to improve. So Mohammed says B2C safety. That is great. The claps for this. E-chocolate goes to you. Then B2 sellers, sales, B2G tax. So it's fantastic. So government gets tax benefit. Sellers are able to, suppose the snack seller may be selling it to wholesalers. So they get their products. And safety, very good. In fact, that is a learning point for me also, that because it was done during COVID and there was a lot of restriction, you cannot get out of your house. So this ensured the safety of the citizens. Fantastic. I love that. Then B2G track transaction. Very good. Jyoti has also given a very good point that government will be able to track this transaction because it is built in through technology. B2C, that is customer. Convenience, ease of access. Yes, can order anytime. Priyanka, time saving, B2C. Uh, Time saving, better prices, convenience, variety of the products. Jyoti says, yeah, 24/7. It is available. Yes. B2B, holding cost is reduced to large extent because you become JIT. B2C convenience, that was Karthik. Now Shreya. B2C convenience, time saving, anytime access. Dhyanesh, B2C, fast delivery, anytime can check location. Good. Time saved. Manoj, B2C home delivery. Alok, B2C availability of snacks during COVID. Yes. And B2B more customers. Okay, great. In fact, that snack seller was very smart. So a lot of products we consume, like we have bread, then toast and biscuit and cookies. So you know what that snack seller did? He added this product to his manufacturing capability during that period. Phenomenal business. So that is good. Then Yogesh, benefit to customers, feedback from available to access anytime. Very good. Anuradha, B2B. More customers are reached. B2C, snack seller is found easily. Availability is increased. B2G, tax collection is improved. Just B2B, increase in business, less involvement required, gets better access to customer data, improved efficiency. Mauli, B2G, uninterrupted text collection. Okay, so uninterrupted, but we'll accept that that tracking is there, so the collection becomes easy. Ilaya Bharti, B2C, purchase anytime. Yes, very good. Jasprit, customer may make anytime purchase. Seller got a chance to expand their business. Everything is done online. Yes, government can track easily. Priyanka, B2B, easy payment, more access to market, more number of customers. Good. And then Khushi, B2B, provides 24 hours service. Piyush, B2C, benefit of comparison. Business to sellers, no crowding. Yes, very good. So physically, the point that Mohammed made of safety. B2G, easy to investigate because the transaction is tracked. Vedika, getting information about actual sales, revenue, tax collection, that is to government. Sellers, more profit in selling, that is Dhyanesh. Swati, easy to access and comparison. Manjunath, for customers, time saving for business. Ilaya, time saving for business. Okay, Dhyanesh was already there. Khushi, B2C, convenience. Mauli, to customers, customer don't have to go outside, it's home delivery. Yes, Vedika has also brought a chocolate winning point. It reduces monopoly. Very good. Then Pranev, that sometimes that is people use it, that technology democratizes a process. So monopoly is hit. Very good. Then Pranav, B2C enhance profit enhancement. Okay, good. Achal, B2C, very comfortable, convenient. Priyanka is to avail GST credit. Yes. Then delivery 24 hours. Okay. So I think most of the points have been covered. Let me read the name of the persons who have put the answers. Swati, Khushi, Achal, Mohammed, Mitesh Bhai, Mohammad Abid, Manoj, Swati, and okay. Returning is also easy. So now see, your answers are a great motivator because do you think that I need to tell you more on this? You have already written so fantastically. So let us read the points in the next slide. I'll only explain that point which has not come in the chat. The rest you all know. So you talked about convenience, you talked about saving, various options, easy to find review, open deals, anytime access. And I think you can add this also, the security of the person, because this whole idea, the example I gave cropped during COVID itself. So that can be added with a line that during this lockdown period, it created a secured environment of purchasing and selling. That can be very well added with this word COVID duration. So you have all said correctly. Yes, Manoj, I'm always with this learning. Then sellers. So I think all point you have said. Customer base increase. Yeah, the second point, recurring payments made easy because you are buying. So the tracking, that credit period that the one manufacturer will maybe giving to wholesalers, so that tracking becomes easy. It's an instant transaction, a dynamic market, and of course, reduction of cost that you all said, and it is here also. Yeah, price equilibrium is a good word to learn. It reduces advertisement cost. Yes. Then benefits creation of new markets. You said about it. Low barriers of entry. So this snack seller is a phenomenal example. Means I'll be talking more on this at the end of this discussion, but because this example I am giving. So a simple Google form that you all can make. What he had to only do, link it to a payment gateway. The job is done. Low barriers of entry. Time delay is removed. You can keep a track of the call because instant feedback, one of you did say better quality, efficiency improvement due to reduction in time to complete, reduction in error, and reduction in inventory. So benefit all across to all the sellers. Benefits to government, instrument to fight corruption in line with government's vision. E-commerce provides a pivotal hand to fight corruption. Reduction in use of ecologically damaging material through, yes, so you can keep a track of that. And what I want you to write this GST collection, the point you made. So government tax collection, tax credit, all becomes good. So this is benefit to customer, benefit to sellers, business, and benefits to government when you do a e-commerce transaction. And let us see, you have said something. Yes, Mohammed, please let me do it again. Mohammed has put a question that we all are worried about how to answer question in examination. So I've already told you that the point header has to be as in the module, the explanation as you understand. These practical examples are given to you to understand the explanations given. And one value addition that we are all going to do is write these examples we are discussing, explanation. Then it is done job. Okay. Pivotal is important. Yeah. Yes. So that is how you look to this. So it was a good discussion. Now, what I want, let us go to the next slide. I want you to do a case. Yeah. These disadvantages will take later on. What I want, see, when we talked about chapter 1, so in chapter 1, we talked about business process automation. There we had a discussion that I asked you, all of you, to share one business near your residential locality that you found had adopted to technology. Okay. So now what you do, there was the steps of business process automation. And now we are looking to this concept of advantages to business, advantages to customer, advantages to government when you adopt technology. What I want, you imagine that business that you personally know, which converted, which adopted to technology. That is, the mandate is it has to be known to you personally. Okay. Don't go by the newspaper reading. The example I'm sharing, that snack seller, is a very personal experience. Okay. So you all had those experience during COVID lockdown. What I want, just imagine that business which converted itself into a electronic commerce business, which adopted some technology. Now just look to this snack seller. It was a traditional business. March 2020, I think 22nd March or 23rd March, it was lockdown. All things shut off. No one knew how to respond to this COVID corona that time. This snack seller launched the Google form on 1st May. So he or the team that they had, they must have tried to imagine now how to do business and look to the unimaginable benefit that they got because they adopted this simple technology. This I want you to do. Imagine that business that you had personally interacted during COVID corona and name that, and just one benefit. We don't want a detailed answer. You only need to give this one benefit accrued to that business. Which business? Which adopted to technology when there was COVID lockdown, and that is known to you personally. Got my point? Please don't write from any newspaper reading. Write from your personal experience. That is what I want. Only one line. You are a customer. So what benefit accrued to you due to that business? So your answers are going to be like, say, take the example, I have snack seller. So what benefit you got? When snack seller adopted technology, the benefit to the customer. Like I was a customer of that. So what benefit we got? We could order products. We could order bread, biscuits, cookies, toast, snacks, additional items. That person brought tea masala also. We could order tea masala also. So I could order multiple products. That was the benefit I got. Just imagine and write that. Okay. Then once you write, after we complete this disadvantages, I'll read your answers. Okay. Now, disadvantages of e-commerce. So we have talked lot on advantages. Now let us talk about disadvantages. So first is the foremost, and in fact, believe me, I understand many of you in your home, in your family, in your relation, you would be having people who are outside India. You yourself might have traveled outside India. So those of you who have such knowledge, such experience, the internet cost in India is peanuts. It's just nothing to the internet cost they have in Europe or more developed countries. So it is virtually zero in our, and in fact, you have this free Wi-Fi zones across cities, special locations. So in my hometown, we had this tower company, one of the internet service providers. Some time back, they installed their internet towers, and it you can sit below the tower. The Wi-Fi was free. So from a distance of say 500 meters, if we saw a cluster of young boys and girls at a location, our conclusion was that there is that free internet tower. So that much internet availability is there. Now we are all rolling 5G technology is being brought. So internet connection is a must. That is a very important necessity for this e-commerce transaction. Then, yes, high startup cost. If you're doing business per se like that, connectivity, hardware, software, setup, maintenance. Yes, these are the issues. Then legal issues may crop up. See, we'll be talking about, there are cases in the module. I'll be sharing more cases that e-commerce transaction creates a different category of legality to the transaction, the legal issues like that. Then some businesses can never be put on e-commerce. Yes. So like those businesses in terms of say ordering or buying mango or a barber. So now what is there? If you have to visit a barber, you have to go to that barber, get your hair cut. But during this COVID corona, physical contacts would not be there. So there are few businesses which took a big hit due to lockdown, where they could not be put on e-commerce, m-commerce mode. So those businesses which have physical interaction, they couldn't be put on e-commerce. Then cultural impediments. Yes, like the example of mango I have given. So to buy a mango at a very personal level, we like to have feel of the mango, the smell of the mango, and then only you buy that mango. So that is a cultural impediment. And yes, last is again very important, security. In fact, that is a big risk we all must be aware about. Whenever any one of you do a e-commerce transaction, just ensure that you do the transaction in secured mode. Don't share password. Be very sure on which websites you are ordering. Just check the security parameters of the website, whether the website is secure. Don't go to any website that has that 100% discount, 50% discount without validating those and without validating the authenticity of that website. Because see, the risk is, just understand the risk. What is the risk? See, what will happen? You buy a product, and suppose the product is, they give so much discount, it is a big incentive for you to buy. So you buy that product. Now you have to make a payment. So you are going to select a payment mode. And believe me, there are multiple payment options. One of the payment option is cash on delivery. Just understand this, that if that is a fraudster or a hacker, Probably they will not have a cash on delivery option. They are going to have few very specific option to make payment, like from your debit card, credit card, or net banking. Now you're going to log in to payment gateway through that website. If that is not secured, all your secured information can be captured by them. So that risk is very high. That is why sometimes people feel whether to go with e-commerce or not. But technology is there. You keep yourself aware that wherever you are making payment, that is a secured location, then the payment can be made through. Okay. So before we go to the next part, e-marketing, let us see to your answers. Great, Mohammed. Thank you. Yes, very good. So Kojama says, Institute has adopted technology for benefit of members and students. Fantastic. Live classes. Yeah, good. Oh my God. Most of you have even said live classes. Pranay also says it. Jash also says it. Okay. So probably few Indian companies have been taken over by foreign companies. Mohammed gives an example. Sharon, schools, oh, yes, online teaching. So I wanted you to give an benefit, your personal benefit like that. Okay. Vedika says ICI app, it helps online study. So all of you have given example of ICI. You have said that it helped you study online. That is great. Then Mohammad Abid says any time business. So you can, okay. So I'll read Priyanka has given some lines to the answer. A grocery shop in my village availed the opportunity of selling goods using technology. Benefit I got was nothing because that shop is next to my house. My God. Okay, but okay, so it's a good example. So probably Priyanka did not benefit because it was they had a common wall. Okay, but if now let us look to the shop owner, so other customers must have benefited. Great. Stationery shop, stationery available during lockdown. That is Jyoti. Anuradha, medical store person started with generic medicine and had additional items from Ayurveda. Benefit they got was home delivery. Very good. So benefit of medicine, grocery, payment through UPI. Advantage, no need to return. Yes, cash. You need not carry cash in your pocket. Yes. Yeah, impediment is problem, Mohammed. Live classes, just breathe. Uber. Yeah, Uber. Okay, good. The I'm reading the benefits. Huh? So Lalit Priya says everyone changed their payment mode to UPI. That was a drastic change. I came another shop using give us chit as bills, but during COVID he got billing machine. Yeah, very good. So now Manoj has a very different example. Okay. Iris, yeah, live classes, ICA is not business. Zerodha for buying shares, online yoga classes. There are other online buying websites for shares also. Yeah, banks allowing opening of account online. Video KYC. Very good. Yes, we all did that, Mohammed. So donations you could do online. Yes, great. Then coming to the next one, that is e-marketing. So definitions and the terms in that. So it is a process of marketing a product or service using the internet. So that is e-market. Now, what are the terms that we need to talk about? So I'll just read, then we'll read the definition from the module. Portal, e-shop, e-mall, e-auction, buyer aggregators, virtual community, and e-distribution. Let us take this from the module. Just give me a sec. Yeah. Okay. So we are on this part, checking the e-marketing aspects. Okay. Yeah, Kojima, I'll accept that. Karthik has a good disadvantage. Karthik says that people become lazy. They don't want to go out from home. In fact, we are having a lot of today and just 2 days. So we are having a cold wave. So it's better sometime not to go out. Okay. Now let us talk about the e-marketing terms used. So portal. So portal is a just website that serves as a gateway or main entry point to the specific e-market. So through portal they market. It's website that is positioned as an entrance to other sites on internet. So e-marketing, you can allow yourself to be documented on search engines so that through that you can get yourself marketed. Then e-shop. An e-shop is a virtual store front that sells products and services online where customers can shop at any hour of the day or night without leaving home. It is a convenient way of buying products. So, multiple answers. So we just are interested in definitions. E-mall. An e-mall in its basic form consists of collection of e-shops grouped into a single internet address. It is a website that displays electronic catalog from several suppliers and charges commission from them for the sales that has been made through that singular internet address. The basic idea of it is same as retailing model, like you have a departmental store, a mall. So you are bringing e-shops together, creating an e-mall. That is. Then you could have general or specialized mall. General for all product, specialized like there's an example in the module. This is basically 99 acres. There are other websites for this for buying, selling property, renting property. So you could create specialized malls also. Then e-auction. Yeah. These provide a channel of communication through which bidding process for products could be made. In fact, uh, lot of banks which are selling this when they auction properties. So a lot of this bank property auction is being done in e-auction mode now. There are products which are sold on auction. This Coal India Limited, it's selling coal through auctions. So these are e-auctions. You have to do online. So this becomes another way of doing it. Buyer aggregator. This is a good word that you probably must have heard about, but I thought it's good to discuss. Buyer aggregator brings large number of individual buyers so that they can gain types of saving that are usually available to large volume buyers. In this, the firm collects their information about goods and services, make the providers their partners and sell their service under its own brand. For example, Zomato is a website that provides information, menus, and user reviews of restaurant as well as food delivery options from partner restaurant selected cities. So buyer aggregator is reversing the process of sale. So here you bring the buyers together. So all buyers put their requirement and the website collects their requirement and then it may negotiate with the seller. Let's say I have got these 10 buyers and they require this product. Tell me what discount you are going to give. So that is a very good business option, buyer aggregator. A lot of big companies are doing it. I've gone through this process. Purchase department of companies. So this purchase department, lot of products companies buy. So they create a buyer aggregating platform and then buy for the whole number of number of companies together. Then virtual community is a platform for community of customers who share a common interest and use internet to communicate with each other. In fact, all of you use this smartphone. So whatever brand smartphone you have, they've got a virtual community. So if you want to interact, know about the smartphone features, some problem you face, you go on the community, you get very good answers. So there is a community for Tally users, community for different category of smartphone users. So this help you communicate well with them. Then e-distribution is a concept wherein a company supplies products and services directly to individual businesses. This model helps distributors to achieve efficiency saving by managing large volume of customers, automating orders, communicating with partners, and facilitating value-added service such as order tracking through each point of supply chain. For example, Wipro uses the internet to provide fully integrated e-business enabled solution that help unify the information flow across all major distribution process flow like sales, marketing, automation, customer service, warehouse logistics, purchasing, inventory management, and financing. So again, an application side, how you can how you improve your own performance in terms of the way business is being done. That is e-distribution. Then e-procurement. So e-procurement is management of all procurement activities via electronic means. Many companies now prefer to procure the required goods and services through website devoted to procurement. Business model based on e-procurement seek efficiency in accessing information on supplier, availability, price, quality, delivery times, as well as cost of setting up by collaborating with partners to pool their buying power and secure best value deals. In fact, big bulk buyers, private companies have got to e-procurement, and you know what they do? They release their requirement to their authorized vendors, and they have a date and time when this e-procurement will be done. So what that specified product vendors have to bid, their existing vendors have to bid. So one who gives the quality at the lowest price, he or she or it gets the order. So it's a phenomenal way of doing things. So that is e-marketing. Okay. Now let us see their questions. Yeah, Alok is giving good example. This e-voting, including video to the shareholder for voting. Then e-auction for, it was okay, good. Yes. Priyanka says, Neeraj Chopra, our javelin thrower. The javelin, that one gold for him was e-auction, and the amount went to Prime Minister's Narendra Modi ji's care fund. Cab aggregators like Ola, these are aggregators. Okay, I'll take distribution again. Okay. Now, so what is basically being done in distribution, that the company that is supplying products or services directly to businesses, this model help distributor, means the company, achieve efficiency saving by managing large volumes of customer. What you need to understand, Pranay, that see, if I say distribution, so you are reading it in terms of the final benefit technology is bringing. That is in distribution. There are number of prior activities which have been done. So suppose just consider this e-distribution. It basically means that all the customers whom this is talking about, like I've highlighted, by managing large volumes of customer. So large volume of customer, you bring them together. Okay. So the important activity that is being done is distributing the product to the customer. That is why you're calling e-distribution. This includes automating the order processing system, communicating with partners, facilitating value-added service such as order tracking through each point in the supply chain. So you ensure that all tracking is built into system. That is what is e-distribution. Okay. Then e-commerce business model. So this, you all are very much aware about this whole idea about e-commerce and their related business models. Let us talk about them. A business model can be defined as the organization of product, service, and information flow, the sources of revenue and benefits for supplier customer. An e-business model is the adoption of an organization business model to the internet economy. So what you're basically doing, the whole business that is being done, you multiply it by technology, ensure the business becomes technology driven in electronic commerce mode. That model that you have converted, your existing business model, you have converted into e-commerce business model. So when I say e-commerce business model, so the existing, like we talked about at the start of the session, the traditional business is going to be there, but will be converted into e-commerce mode. The snacks seller example. So the traditional business would be selling the snacks through shops. But now because COVID is there, they had to adopt to e-commerce. So this adoption from traditional to e-commerce creates a new category of e-commerce business model. What are the various types? Let us take by example. So e-markets, e-business models. Now, we'll just allow me to take to the module. We'll read the definitions from there. So e-commerce business model is the mechanism by which business intends to generate revenue and profits and include product, service, and information. So that we have talked about. Now, these are the categories of business model. That includes B2C, that is business to consumers. We'll read the categories, the headers, then we'll discuss. B2B, business to business. C2C. So what I'll do, okay, so let us do this. Let us learn. B2C. So what I want, each one of you will only give one example of this business model. Okay, that you know as B2C. Write the example here. Okay. Then next you are going to give example of B2B. B2B you have given. So this next I want C2C, consumer to consumer. C2B, consumer to business. Lot of there in the module itself. Then consumer to government and government to consumer. So these are the core way and business to consumer. So these are the e-commerce business models which are being used. Let us take them one by one. Business to consumer. So that is typically that we all know. That includes this e-market, e-shops, e-malls, e-auctions, buyer aggregators. This includes direct sellers like Cisco, Amazon. So these are all B2C. So this we all know. Okay. It was there in foundation. Good. Then B2B. So business to business. So this includes e-auction, e-procurement, e-distribution. So those three headers that you learned could be good example of B2B. The best example of B2B is India Mart that you all gave, that businesses use to buy and sell product. Many B2C like Amazon has created a separate business website. So they are B2B. Yes, I'm interested in C2C. Let us see what examples you have given. So C2C, the consumer interacts with the consumer. With C2C e-business model, consumers sell directly to another consumer via online classified ads and auctions and by selling personal services and expertise online. C2C e-commerce allows unknown, untrusted parties to sell goods and other services to one another. The model facilitates plain and simple commerce between consumers, wherein revenue streams are typically matching buyers with sellers and vice versa. Good. A consumer so e-auctions is good example of C2C. A consumer selling his or her mobile phone, camera, computer, laptop, and list of electric devices through publishing information on website. OLX, yes. So most of you have given OLX. That was from the module. Yeah, Vinay has given good example. Institute CDS, the Common Distribution Portal, is a good example of B2C. Good. Then Quicker, yeah. So we have one more example for C2C, that is Quicker. Okay, C2C document sharing. Okay, I don't know it, but I'll accept that. Okay, Lalit Priya has Avin. That document sharing was by Alok. Karthik Snapdeal, yes, it is there. Okay, Facebook have market platform. Very good. Swiggy Genie feature that will be C2C. Okay. Share market. Share market C2C. Okay, I don't know it. Pranab. I don't know share market can be C2C like that because you require this transfer through clearing agencies. Doctor Online is an example of B2C. Yeah. Yes, Manoj. The answer is yes. Then C2B, consumer to business. Again, a good point. With C2B, consumers create value and business consume that value. In the model, a reverse auction allows consumer to set the price and companies to bid or consume their services and offer. E-distribution is an example of C2B. The best example of this model is job portals. Okay, Times Job, Naukri.com. So consumer, okay, so many consumers come there and then businesses seek them. Another example is Bazaar.com, which give details about the financial products available. Okay, so that is also good. Yes, True Value is C2C, good. Car Dekho, Cars 24, good. C2B, Bank Bazaar, consumer to business, yes. Great. Then consumer to government. So the example is given. This covers all the e-commerce transaction between consumer and government. The example given is incometaxindia.gov.in. So we all agree to it. Okay. Then uh, government to consumer. This allow consumers to provide feedback or ask information about government authority from public sector. Consumers can reach higher authority without going around in cities. Their aim is to reduce the average time for fulfilling citizens' request for various government service. So government portals, land searches. Yeah, in fact, this example of Andhra Pradesh is given, but now like income tax refund, they are all automatically online done. Virtually all state across India have their land records computerized. So this tracking you can do through online. Then business to government, yes. So B2G is a variant of B2B. Such websites are used by government to trade and exchange information with various organizations through portal. B2G websites are accredited by government and provide a medium to businesses to submit application forms. So like all this submissions that companies do, they become B2G. Probably you can take MCA also as an example. Consultancy Muhammad Abid is B2C. LinkedIn, yes, people come together. C2B, customer requirement. Buyback of shares, LinkedIn. C2B, LinkedIn, yes. Then selling scrap. Yes, I wanted the Sharon C2B, consumer to business. In fact, selling scrap is B2B also. There's, I think, Metal Junction is one of the websites. So this our steel producers. So they generate a lot of scrap steel. So that has to be reprocessed. So I think Metal Junction is the name of the website where these steel producers have aggregated, where they sell their scrap steel. So that is, yes, that becomes B2B also. Sale of copyright or patent, yeah, it is, I think it is B2B only. C2B, Amazon accept old mobile, yes. Yeah, that can be C2B, yes. Then G2C, Suvidha, yes, Suvidha portal. Paying tax, C2G, good. Government to ration shops, yes, that is G2C. Uh, Pranav, GST portal, consumer to government, yeah. Alok, B2G, business to government, MCA. No process, government to business. Barber, consumer to business. Okay, you can take that. If you are able to book Cosema online, then you take it as consumer to business. Great. Just give me a second. Okay, so we are on this topic heading components. So because we are starting a new topic and we had a very good interaction, so we are just taking today break at 7:15. So we are taking a break. We'll reassemble at 7:25, starting a new topic with a break. Yeah. So it's a break. Yeah. So welcome back. So there are questions. Barbershop is also C2B. I'll say yes. Then B2G, business to government accepting project. I'll say yes. Priyanka says sale of copyright patents can be termed as B2B. The answer is yes. The only aspect to look into is that the way the project has been taken up, like that. Yes, give me a second. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. Can we see LI? No, Alok, you want to say LIC or LIP? All listed companies is available online. So it is going to be there. Yeah. Okay. Now let us go to the next topic. That is components. So these are the components of all this m-commerce, e-commerce we talked about. This includes the user, the e-commerce vendors, the technology infrastructure, internet, the portal, payment, gateway. So I'm asking because you all know, you have all interacted. No, Alok, I think that will not be there because LLPs are not publicly listed and they need not file their. They do file, but public, I think, I'm not sure whether you can access LLP's file documents. Public, is it available to public? Please check it. Yeah. Okay. So these are the components. The question that I'm asking you is that you all have used e-commerce, m-commerce. We all do it on a daily basis. Suppose payment gateway is an option. So I want you to list the various payment gateways that e-commerce and m-commerce vendor use, which you also use. Okay. So it could be, so just give me a list of PGs, payment gateways. Then by the time you give the list, we'll go to the topic and there's a question that I want you to learn. Okay. So Manoj gives an update that you can get through an MCA site, LLP's financial statement. So just check it out. Okay. If it is visible, then you might have to make some payment and then you can download. So if it is there, then you can do it. Yeah. Okay. So let us take components one by one. So this is how the component chart appears. Technology, vendors, users, internet, web portals, mobile apps. Then you have this digital library, which has information, the data interchange, fund transfers, marketing, messaging. So this is the whole spectrum of the technology infrastructure that is created to create m-commerce and e-commerce platforms that we are talking about. Users. So first component is users. This may be individuals or organizations or anybody using any e-commerce platform. As e-commerce has made procurement easy and simple, just on a click of button, e-commerce vendor needs to ensure that their products are not delivered to wrong user. Yes, this is very, very important that the address of delivery is correct. In fact, whenever we all place order, so as we go for checkout or payment, the e-commerce or m-commerce merchant asks us, seeks a confirmation that is this the correct address of delivery. So that is very, very important. Then e-commerce vendors. This is the organization entity providing the user goods and services asked for. So yeah, the vendors through which you do the transaction. Few quality parameters e-commerce vendors need to meet. This is very, very, very important. The supplier and supply chain management, warehousing operation, shipping and returns, e-commerce catalog and product display, marketing and loyalty programs. So each of this means whenever you talk of a e-commerce vendor, these are the aspects that e-commerce vendor need to ensure and cover up. They need to be properly coordinated. So the supply chain management, or what you may refer to as SCM, so that supply chain management, they have to ensure it is proper. Then warehousing, see, please understand this one word warehousing, or you could say storage also along with that. This itself has become a big, big uh, part of the e-commerce business. Probably on this channels online, uh, on this Discovery, National Geographic, and channels Epic, where they display this, the way this storage is being done. So this, due to e-commerce and due to the volume, this warehousing operation has been revolutionized in India, across India. There are, I've seen big, big warehouses where products are stored in lakhs of numbers, and the whole warehouse operation is system driven, robotic driven, robot driven. So lot and lot of inputs have been done in this warehousing operation. Then shipping, that is dispatching and returns. In fact, one of the key element for success of e-commerce merchant that comes about is, of course, the quality of the product and the ease of return of the product. A few things that e-commerce has revolutionized is return and associated refunds. Just imagine that you are buying a say a t-shirt of say size 32 online, and you want to buy a blue colored t-shirt, but by mistake you have ordered for a black colored t-shirt. Now, so I've got the answer to first question. That was the payment gateway. I want you to answer the second question. So this question has lot of system implication, and this question has lot of accounting implication. So I'm putting this question to you. Just imagine and try to answer. Okay. So I'm on point number 3, shipping and returns. Now imagine that you wanted to order a t-shirt size 32, a black colored t-shirt. By mistake, you have ordered a blue colored t-shirt. Okay. Now, what I want you to write in the chat, suppose you have ordered right now, say today's it's 7:30. So 7:30 p.m. you have ordered. I want you to write in time frame or in terms of when, up to what time you can cancel order. So you have to only give one option, that I as soon as I realize, I'll cancel the order. So just give this. Okay, what time you can cancel the order. Then based on your answer, we'll learn returns more. It's a very, very, very important for business aspect, that is important, but for accounting, it is one of the key, I could say, complicated process of accounting for all those e-commerce vendors and merchants. Okay. Then e-commerce catalog and product display. So again, companies are putting lot and lot of effort, like just, okay. So the question there, another question I want you to answer, but let you complete the answer to this question of refund and returns. Okay. Then e-commerce catalog and product display. Okay. So try to answer this question again. We all have been buying online. So we are basically B2C. We are consumers of product. By now, I'm not naming them online, but what I want you to tell that when you navigate for a product online, there are few websites which you find comfortable to navigate, easy to search the product that you are looking for. That is the cataloging and display of the product online, because everything is going to be online. The user is not going to physically see or touch the product. So the feel of that display has to be very good. We all have been buying online. So just give the answer in the chat. And which of the websites that you have been using where you found the navigation of the product easy for buying it. Then marketing and loyalty programs. So many e-commerce merchants allow you create your own login ID passwords based on your previous purchases. They may allow you discounts, loyalty benefits, points are accumulated. Those points can be used to buy new products. So that is how you are learning this process. Then showroom and offline purchases. Now, what has happened that lot of things are being mixed and merged. Like companies that started as a e-commerce vendor, uh, in fact, big e-commerce merchant that come to your mind. I read that in big metros, they have created their delivery centers. So you order your product and then you can pick your product from delivery center of those e-commerce merchant. So lot of mix and merge are being done. Then different ordering methods. Yes, so you can online order, you can order through email. So multiple ways of you can place order. So whenever you imagine yourself as an e-commerce vendor, you have to see how you have to define how the orders are going to be received by you as vendors. What is your guarantee policy when you sell the product? Privacy policy. The last two have become very important. Data security, data privacy, security of private data is become very critical. So privacy policy means whatever information you as a user, customer are sharing with the vendor, what policy has been put in place by the vendor. The law is very clear. Any data that you share with any third person, it cannot use data for any other purpose except the purpose for which it is shared. If that individual wants to share data for any other purpose, or that entity wants to share data for any other purpose, they have to take a specific consent from the data creator, owner of the data. So what is your privacy policy? How you keep track of that? And security. I'm just linking this to discussion in chapter 1. There's a section 43A of Information Technology Act. There we talked about that any information that is available to third person entity that relates to you, like your passwords, your bank details, like that, the security of that information becomes responsibility of the person who has it. So that level of importance is to all these aspects. Okay. Then technology infrastructure, we'll come to this. Let us see. There are a lot of questions you are answering. So let us take one by one. So first was the payment gateway. So Razorpay. So I'll read the names of the technology. I'm not reading your name. Okay. So Razorpay, UPI, debit credit card, net banking, UPI, debit credit. Yes, I was waiting for this COD, cash on delivery. I'll come back on this again. Razorpay, Paytm, PayPal, Amazon Pay, Bharat Pay, Google Pay, UPI, net banking, pay on delivery, Google Pay, Phone Pay, GPay, that is Google Pay, Paytm, mobile banking, Aadhaar Pay. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, Aadhaar Pay is generally not available to individuals like that. Government does use it. They call it as AEPC, Aadhaar Enabled Payment System. Then NEFT, Phone Pay, Google Pay, Paytm. Okay, Jyoti, I'll explain payment gateway. Okay. Payment gateway is the way you make payment while you're buying any product online. जब आप ऑनलाइन कोई सामान या सर्विस खरीदते हैं तो ऑनलाइन उसका जब पेमेंट करते हैं उस पेमेंट करने के तरीके को कहा पेमेंट गेटवे. तो ये जो सारे नाम मैंने पढ़े ये उन सब पेमेंट गेटवे के उदाहरण हैं. इन तरह से आप पेमेंट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज द पॉइंट. ओके. नाउ the one that I wanted to talk about was COD, cash on delivery. So in fact, some analysis done tells that still today, in e-commerce platforms, one single payment method that is most used by people is still COD. So digital payments are increasing. We are seeing a huge volume of increase, but still on e-merchant, people given by the largest share, it still goes to cash on delivery as a payment mechanism. Okay. Then, yeah. So the next question was on. So let me go to the previous slide. Yeah, shipping and return. So in that, I had asked you that you need to imagine when you can return. Okay. 7 days. So 7 days. Then one before shipping order. Okay. Till it is shipped. 1 month from the date of delivery. Before it get dispatched. We can, yes, Alok, we can deliver cancel order anytime till delivery, anytime. Returning on e-commerce website is generally available within 7 days of receiving delivery. Before the product is delivered, you can cancel. Okay. So now imagine, just I want to create this idea to you. Okay. So just imagine, suppose I'm the buyer. So I ordered a black t-shirt. I was intending to buy a blue t-shirt. So this realization may come to me when immediately. So just understand how and in your mind, see there are a number of people working together in this process. So let us name those people. The e-commerce merchant through which you have booked the sale. The e-commerce merchant, we all know, is not the manufacturer of the product. That individual, that company has created a platform. So that e-commerce merchant has what is the header of the slide? E-commerce vendors. So here is a merchant that is linked to vendors. Okay. Now at the top, your customer. And there's a fourth one also that you call as a delivery partner. So as soon as the customer places the order to the e-commerce vendor, the information goes to the merchant, and that information from merchant also flows to the delivery partner, because this delivery partner is going to pick the product from the vendor and deliver to the consumer. So there are four people who are working: the user, the e-commerce merchant, the e-commerce vendor, and delivery partner. Now just mentally imagine, you calculate the accounting issue in your mind itself. I'm bringing the issues to you. Okay. Now this, because it creates a lot of complexity in accounting aspect. So you are the customer, you have placed the order. As soon as you place the order, you realize that it was incorrectly ordered, you cancel the order. Now, if you immediately cancel the order, see how things are going to go. Because the order is immediately cancelled, the order has the information of the order from the merchant might have gone to the vendor, but because the cancellation is there, the vendor has not given, there is an immediate cancellation. The product is with the vendor. It has not been given to the delivery partner to deliver to you. Okay. So the only thing that is left is that the refund that comes to you from the e-commerce merchant. Now you have ordered a wrong t-shirt. This e-commerce merchant regularly send you emails and messages that your order has been accepted, that your order is being dispatched. So suppose a dispatch indication mail or your order will be dispatched in 2 days, such an information comes to you. Next day morning, you go to that and you realize, oh, I had ordered a wrong product. So you cancel 1 day after. Now within that 1 day, some processes must have happened. Probably the vendor had started manufacturing the product. Okay. Then you realize that 3 days after, the vendor has manufactured the product. The vendor has packed the product. The delivery partner has to pick it from the vendor. Then you can sell. 7 days after, the vendor has manufactured. The product has been picked by the delivery partner and it is on the way to be delivered to you. Within this, all possible complication, and the worst and the last is that the t-shirt is delivered to you. You open the t-shirt and you realize, oh, I wanted to order a black t-shirt, but I wanted to order a blue t-shirt. I've ordered a black t-shirt. You return to the delivery partner there in itself. So this multiplicity is there. It creates a lot of complexity of tracking of the transaction. refund processing, taxation, all aspects need to be looked into. So just keep that in your mind that the back end of e-commerce has to be hugely system driven because this tracking has to be done through system only. Okay. The next question was on the fourth point. Which platform you found easy? So I'll just read the name of the platform. So virtually all names are there. So Amazon, Uber, Swiggy, Flipkart, Myntra, Misho, Myntra. Okay, that is. So this is how this all is being done. Vinay, SSL secured socket layer. If the word comes, I'll explain. Okay, it's a technology. Uh, I'll will see if it is part of our component. Then I'll explain. Yeah, I can actually practically display you that. But if it is part of the course, I'll explain you that way. Oh, Manoj, that is learning. So what Manoj has said that even if you take cash on delivery, so you are going to make the payment to the vendor when the product is delivered. So when the delivery person delivers the product, you don't give him physical cash. That time you make an online payment. That is great. So that ensures the hassles for handling cash is reduced for the delivery partner also. They will also love doing it. Great. So I think the word cash on delivery needs a upgrade. We need to say payment on delivery. I think one of you did use that word, payment on delivery. Yes. So we are updating that payment on delivery. Great. Then this is again a very, very important topic. Technology infrastructure, the way it has been built by the e-commerce vendors or to enable e-commerce. Scalable. Scalable means you can add, you can create more resources based on the requirement as it comes. So just like someone did talk about this $1 billion sale, we have this all big e-commerce merchant once or twice in a year. They announce it like the big $1 billion sale is here. So within that 3 days, or you must have read, I think you can share those figures. Amazon, Flipkart, both had their $1 billion sale. So they 3 days or 5 days, once a year, it's a big $1 billion sale and lot of discounts are offered. And because lot of discounts and this are offered, as I recall, one of these, when they did it first time in India, their server crashed because lakhs of people logged into their system. Now, because this e-commerce merchant have realized that people wait for their big $1 billion sale, they create lot of redundant or additional capacities. That relates to the first word, that is scalability. Scalability means based on the requirement, you can enhance your technology infrastructure. So just for example, normal day, these websites will be serving say 1 lakh logins, but on a big $1 billion, say they may be serving 5 lakh logins, even more, but it's only an example. That means the scalability has to be that to be able to cater to that 5 lakh login. That is very important. So one of the key characteristics of technology infrastructure created has to be scalability. Then this is very, very important. In fact, that was the reason I asked that question, that for e-commerce to be successful, the navigation platform, ease of use and convenience for whom? The user. So user can be you and me as customers. User can be business also. We talked about models. See how the things have to be interlinked. When we talked about models, so we say B2C, B2B, C2C, C2B, B2G, G2B, C2G, G2C. These are all business models. Now, when I say ease of use and convenient for whom? The user. So the last word in this 3 digits is the user. So whatever technology infrastructure the e-commerce is creating, it has to be easy for us. So it includes now all So it has to be easy for customer if it is the user, the business if it is the user, government if it is the user, citizen if it is the users. For all, the comfort has to be there. The point that you all made, that this the navigation is easy, is exactly replication of this point, that you prefer to go to that website which is easy to use and convenient. That is so, whatever infrastructure technology is being created, that aspect has to be looked into, taken care of. Responsive design. Responsive is, if any updates, suggestions, modifications needed, they are brought into system. That is responsive design. Then what all it includes? It includes computers, servers, database, mobile app, digital library, huge data interchange. So these are all part of the technology infrastructure that is there, created for this all e-commerce that you are looking into. So then mobile apps created. So mobile app, that is just, let us understand, mobile app is what is being displayed on your mobile, that application software. Whatever data you feed has to go to the database and server. So second line, the backend of the second line is the first line, computer, servers, and database. What mobile app is basically creating a delivery option, a searchable option for the user. Then digital library, where all information about the product, the price, supply is there. And data interchange from database to all the users. How that data interchange is going to be regulated, the security of that, all these aspects have to be covered in technology infrastructure. Okay. Let us take them one by one. Computer, servers, and database. These are backbone for success of the e-commerce venture. They store data. Program used to run the whole operation of the organization as cloud computing. Now, in this line, there is an assumption that you all know cloud computing. Okay, so because cloud computing is a topic that we are going to talk about in the chapter, we have not talked about in the previous lecture. So I'll define cloud computing. So as cloud computing is increasingly being used, many small, mid-sized e-commerce organizations have started using shared infrastructure. So right now, for sake of comfort, please understand, cloud computing is, for all of us as of now, is sharing online resources. Just remember the word. That is why this word is here, shared infrastructure. So please understand, cloud is basically sharing of resources. Right now, because there is a detailed discussion, we'll be talking about it. So the header is computer, servers, and database. These are backbones of e-commerce venture. Data has to be preserved, saved. It can be saved through a cloud computing environment. There are benefits of cloud computing that is built in the line. So let me bring that cloud. Please understand, cloud computing is a separate topic in the chapter. We'll be talking about it in detail. But because the line is here, so I'm making things clear so the understanding gets to you. So cloud computing is basically a shared resource. Who owns the resource? Third person owns the resource. Who is using the resource? You and me can be using the resource. Now what happens when a third person is owner of the resource and that resource can be used by more than one person? So the cost of using the resource for one person is less. So that is why, because the cost of using cloud computing is less, if you read the second part of the line, many small and mid-sized e-commerce organizations can also use it. So because the cost is less, it allows these small entities also to use cloud computing for their businesses. So cloud computing is shared resource. At least 2 or 3 benefits come here itself. It is a shared resource. So cost per user for the resource is low. Because the cost per user for the resource is low, small organization can also create a technology infrastructure using cloud compute. That is the benefit of it. Then mobile apps. So a mobile app is a software application program to run specifically on a mobile device, which include tablet computers, smartphones. So we all know it. The key applications of such apps include the mobile store front module. Okay, so these are, please understand, this is illustrative. They are 5 examples given. You can add 50 more. Okay, so add on. So what I want, please give example of one mobile application other than the given on the screen of the presentation or on the PPT. The key application of such app include mobile store front module, so all e-commerce, ticketing, irctc.co.in, GoIbibo, uh, Go Indigo, Make My Trip, Clear Trip, these advertising and marketing module, customer support and information module, mobile banking module. So give me examples beyond whatever is written on the screen. Then now see, this digital library becomes a very, very, very important aspect for e-commerce vendors. Please understand, e-commerce business per se. The key is that what is the definition of e-commerce? Definition of e-commerce is that I can buy product and service online. I need not go to the store shop physically. So if I'm going to buy online, how my assurance will be generated? How I will get the trust in the product or the service? The key to creating that trust in the product and service is the quality, the way it is presented on the mobile app. That quality of presentation is going to come from the header of the slide that you are looking into. The quality of your digital library. So this is very, very important aspect for success of an e-commerce venture. A digital library is a special library with focused collection of digital objects that can include text, visual materials, audio material, video material stored in electronic media format, along with means for organizing, storing, retrieving the files and media contained in library collection. Let us take a live example. You order any product from the website you have given. So when you are navigating the product, there are photos for the product. Suppose it's an electronic product, and along with the photos, you also find a video that this in a minute or 2 minutes, the video tells the benefits of the product, or if it's a new type of product, how you can use the product. All this comes from digital library. So understand, this is very, very, very important aspect. Now I'm asking you a question, a very different question. Okay. We talked about two words, front end and back end. We talked about two words, front end and back end in previous chapter. If digital library has to be imagined, this will be back end or front end for the organization. We talked about two words, back end and front end. So if I want you to imagine digital library, you will classify it as back end or front end for the organization. Give the answer. Next is data interchange. So there are a lot of questions. I'll take it after we complete this technology infrastructure. Okay. Now, data interchange in electronic communication of data for ensuring correctness of data interchange between multiple players in e-commerce. Business specific protocols are being used. These are defined standard to ensure seamless, exact communication in e-commerce. Just for example, protocol, HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Then you have HTTPS, Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secured. Then you have SMTP, Snail Mail Transfer Protocol. FTP, File Transfer Protocol. What is a protocol? Code of conduct. The way you are going to transact with us, the way you are going to inform us, those are protocols. Because just understand the example I talked about cancelling of the order. There were 4 people involved in that. Simple. You, the consumer, the e-commerce merchant, the vendor, the delivery boy, and you can add a 5th one, the payment gateway regulator. Like suppose the customer, you have made payment through Paytm. So 5th parameter is added to this. Now all these 5 have to talk together. So they have to talk in a common language, That common language you create for technology to creating what you call as protocols, means of communication. So what is protocol? Basically, a standardized way of communicating in electronic format. That is very, very important because you are all going to talk about this. That is. We have talked a lot on internet network. Internet connectivity is important for any e-commerce transaction to go through. Net connectivity in present days can be through traditional as well as new technologies. Faster net connectivity is there. 4G is already there, and 5G is being rolled out. I think there are few cities, someone in the previous lecture did share that 5G network has been made live in number of cities across India. So network connectivity is very, very, very important. Then portal through which this transaction will be done. This shall provide the interface through which individual organizations shall perform the e-commerce transaction. Web portal is application through which user interacts with the e-commerce vendor. The simplicity and clarity of content on web portal is directly linked to customer experience of buying the product online. I've talked about this. You all answered this question that when you go for online purchase, there are few e-commerce merchant websites or app you find comfortable to navigate. Where if this product is, say for example, a mobile phone, generally you will buy from that e-commerce vendor where you find the price as low, but you also put your suppose the price is same to both the vendors, then you 100% you will buy from a vendor where the searching of the product, the navigation is easy. That is very important. And payment gateways that you have all answered. The payment made mode through which customer make payment is called as payment gateway. Payment gateway represents the way e-commerce, m-commerce vendors collect their payment. The payment gateway is another critical component of e-commerce setup. These are last and most critical part of e-commerce. Examples are given. You can read. Uh, you all answered that question. Yeah. So architecture will take later on. Let us look to the queries we have. Okay. So I'm taking Vinay point. Sir, but once technology is scaled for specific days, as in example like $1 billion day sale, won't the same remain dormant for rest of the days? That's very good point, Vinay. In fact, this few questions require e-chocolate. Vinay's question is a e-chocolate winning question. This you link to another point I made was cloud computing. So you know what organization cloud is shared resource. So I need not buy it. The resource is available. I'll take it on rent. So for that $1 billion sale, if I have to create additional capacities, I'll not buy a server. I'll hire a server. I'll take it on rent for those periods. Of course, that requires some hard work. You cannot do the means only for 3 days. You'll do it for say a month, but you create additional capacities on cloud. That allows you to do it without incurring a additional cost. Okay. Then number of apps you have sent. So Institutes app, MS Office, gaming, Board of Studies, good. Mobile hotel booking app. So I asked beyond what you are saying. Digital library of the Institute. Kindle, yes. Ah. My question was the digital library for the e-commerce vendor will be what? So for that vendor, it is backend. Yeah, but my question was specific, Vinay. I put it clearly, so I wanted the correct answer. Seamless means without hassles. Mohammed, seamless is without, it doesn't have hurdle. That is seamless. Okay. Now, Mohammed, so when this all digital concept 10, 15 years back when it came, the issue of payment gateway was there, how people are going to make online payment. So initially when it came, means I'm sharing my very personal experience. When we first started ordering online, for initial 1 year, first year, 100% of payment we did was on COD, cash on delivery, because that assurance was not there that suppose I do an online payment. So if I make an online payment, there was this apprehension, anxiety that the product may not be delivered, the delivered product may of be bad quality. So that anxiety level was very high then. But as we learned that the security built in the technology, now the status is it is 100% online payment. So it is a learning process. Why this discussion? So cash on demand or cash on demand would be that the product is delivered, you make cash payment. Just go to the other side of the table. You are the customer. You are making cash on demand payment. The delivery boy or the delivery partner and the e-commerce vendor and the e-commerce merchant, for them managing that cash on delivery became a big problem, because that, just imagine the delivery by the way she comes to you, there's a big bag on a number of products are there, and that person has to collect a lot of cash and he or she has to physically move. That creates a different category of risk because managing cash becomes tough. So over a period of time, the example that was given, over a period of time, companies said, okay, it is cash on delivery. But when our delivery partner comes, you can make payment to delivery partner online that time only. Now it sets lot of things. It is a win-win for many of us. It's a learning discussion. Okay. So win-win for the customer. Why I'm going for cash on delivery? Because I don't have an assurance that the product will be delivered, whether it will be right quality. That is why I go for cash on delivery. Because managing cash on delivery stuff for the company, they have allowed an option to me, customer. Okay, you make payment when product is given to you. You check the box whether the product is correct. Then only you make a payment. But we request you to make an online payment to the delivery partner. So my cash on delivery option has been converted to payment on delivery. So to the online partner, to the delivery partner, delivery person, I make an online payment. So that set rights everything for all. For me, I need not have cash. For me, I'm making payment on the receipt of the product. For the e-commerce vendor and the merchant and the delivery partner, it reduces the hassle of handling the cash. That is the point. So now that mode that we all call as cash on delivery is slowly converting itself into a payment on delivery. Payment is being made on delivery. The only thing is you are selecting an online payment option at the time of delivery. That is how it is. Yes, Dhanish, the point that this many such instances have happened across India, across the world, where these delivery partners who were carrying cash, they were attacked by some thief, some robber, and there is a loss of life also. So that risk has been compensated. Okay, let me just review any questions that are pending to be answered. Website is portal, yeah. Okay. So architecture of network system. So we'll take the definition, the type of architectures, which one to use, and what is exactly being used. Then I think after this we'll be in time to take the MCQ case. Yeah. Put all your questions you have uh, so that before we take the MCQ, I can take your questions also. So Mohammed, I think I have answered your question. Yeah, it's clear to you. Okay. Thank you. Now, the architecture and what are the key components and the word. So architecture here for the discussion we are having in terms of e-commerce, merchants and m-commerce, what it exactly is. So architecture is termed to define the style of design, method of construction used generally for building and other physical structure. In e-commerce, it denotes the way network architectures are built. So network architecture means how the systems are going to talk to each other. Take this example. We talked about in our example, there is a customer who is ordering online through his or her mobile. That is e-commerce merchant. This e-commerce merchant is taking order from the customer online. That e-commerce merchant has to be linked to the e-commerce vendor. This e-commerce vendor is going to get the product delivered through delivery partner. So this has also to be linked to delivery partner through computer. This delivery partner, because is going to deliver product to the customer, it is also linked to the e-commerce merchant. So this way, these four joined together, linked together, is what is you call as architecture. So we are defining the word architecture. Okay. Then within this, there are two ends of this. The client end, you may also call this as the user end, and the server that you call as a provider end. So this architecture, there is a client who is a requester of the resource. Resource can be anything, data, application, computing resource, anything. So when I log into a mobile app, I basically behave like a client. Server is the provider of the resource. So when I log in, I give my order, it goes to the database server. So that becomes that main computer through which that order is being processed becomes my server, provider of resource. Then two types of architecture, 2-tier and 3-tier. Let us take one by one. Okay, 2-tier. So component in a 2-tier architecture is where there is a client, sends a request to the server, and server responds to the request by fetching the data from it. So requester, provider, client, server. The 2-tier architecture is divided into 2 tiers, like you go in train. So tier is 2 levels. So presentation tier and database tier. Presentation, this is the interface that allows user to interact with the e-commerce, m-commerce vendor. User can log in to an e-commerce vendor through this tier. The application also connects to database tier and displays the products and prices to the customer. So that is a tier. Then database tier, the product price data, the customer data and other related data are kept here. User doesn't have access to this. Only the vendor is going to, or the merchant is going to access. That is database tier. So 2-tier means 2 levels of connection, first and second. First is presentation, second is database. This is how it looks like. So presentation tier, the user tier and the data tier. Then advantages, the system performance is high because business logic and database are physically close. They are virtually at the same premise, you can say. Since processing is shared between only 2 people, more users could interact with the system. By having a simple structure, you can set up easily and maintain it smoothly. See, please understand, all these relate to the complexity of networking. Okay. The way I created complexity in your mind for accounting in terms of the time you order a product and time you cancel a product, see, it creates a huge accounting issue. Sometimes we had this experience of being on the back end of that transaction. So I know it. So for us, the simplicity is like that I use through a mobile. But then when you go to the back end, you see how it is working. There the complexity comes into being. So all this relates to that system related complexity that ensures that the e-commerce transaction goes smoothly, seamlessly. Yes. This is a major disadvantage of two-tier architecture, that there is going to be restriction on number of users who can use it. You can have a restricted number of users. You cannot have in huge number of users. Then there's a restricted flexibility and choice of database management system. We talked about in chapter 3, hierarchical database, network database, relational database, object oriented database. Now that discussion is going to become relevant here, that because you're going to create a technology or going to use database, you have to select what category of database has to be used. So that is important. There is restricted flexibility. You cannot have any option for database management system. And since data language used in service is proprietary to each vendor, please understand the last line, the database, the way it is programmed. So the language is not a general purpose language. It becomes a system specific language. So that is a restrictive parameter for two tier. So a lot of disadvantage. That is why we went to the next one, that is three tier. So understand, all technology that you see per se, we are looking all things as three tier architecture only. Is a software design pattern and well established software architecture. The three tier are presentation tier, application tier, and database tier. Three tier architecture is a client server architecture in which functional process, logic, data access, computer storage, user interface are developed and maintained as independent modules on separate platform. So three tier allows you to create a modular structure. So when you create a modular structure, when the word modular comes, please understand it has number of things built into it. When I say modular, that means there is one very important parameter built into it, that is scalability. So when I say modularity, scalability is built. So based, if it is modular, I can increase the usage based on the number of users. Then if it is modular, I can create restrictions. So I can create a more secure system because of modularity. I can restrict access to people. I can define what each module is going to do, how it is going to interact with other modules per se. So presentation tier, application and database tier. It is at the top level, user interact through presentation tier. So wherever presentation tier comes, in your mind, you can remember the user tier, because users are going to interact through system through presentation tier only. This tier communicates with other tiers by sending results to browsers and other tiers in network. Application tier is also called as the middle level logic, business logic, or logical tier. This is pulled from present. So presentation is here, application comes here. This database tier houses the database server where the information is stored, retrieved. Data in this tier is kept independent of the application servers or the business logic. Advantages: clear separation of user interface to data presentation, application logic. Dynamic load balancing. I told you, whenever you read this word modularity, this is one thing you can achieve. Scalability, load balancing, very important. If bottlenecks in terms of performance occur, the server process can be moved to other servers at runtime. So you can do it like on real-time basis, not even letting the user know what system changes are being done. Still, you can do it. Change management. It is easy and faster to change, exchange a component on the server. Yes, so that allows you to upgrade. Scalability. Disadvantages: it creates increased need for network traffic management, server load balancing, fault tolerance. Yes, because the number of users is going to increase phenomenally. So just imagine, just for the sake of it, it is not going to happen anyway. Imagine this irctc.co.in crashing, State Bank of India website crashing. Oh, imagine the volume they have, the traffic they have. So they have to create huge traffic management, load balancing, fault tolerance capabilities. Then second one, current tools are immature. They are developing. It's a learning process, but it's a disadvantage. Maintenance tools, inadequate for maintaining server library. Again, it's a learning process. A lot of improvement are being done to do away with disadvantages also. And Yes, because system is complex, maintenance is going to be complex. So you cannot simplify. If my basic system is complex, its maintenance will be complex. I cannot simplify maintenance. Take it. So because the advantages are much more than the disadvantages, we go for the system. That is the point. Then which one to use? So we'll do this one. Which one to use? In two tier, application performance will be degraded upon increasing the users. So if number of users are high, go for T tier. In three-tier architecture, it provides high performance, lightweight, persistent objects, flexibility, maintainability, reusability, scalability, performance, high improved security. So then you go for three-tier architecture. Okay. Now, because we have completed a major part of this, we'll take this not now in the next session. I'll bring the MCQ. So, but because there are questions, let me take them. PDA is personal data assistant, your handheld device. Yes. DBMS is database management system. Kojima says, sir, sometimes institute website also crashes. Yes, that is the reason, because lakhs of students at the same moment of time try to log in. Yes, it's a very good example. Ready? Yes, I am also. Alok says, I am ready. I am also ready. Let me bring it. I'll just share. So I told you I'll create few cases for. So this becomes our storyboard. Now, so we have talked about this in a lot. So I think the case is clear to you. Okay, just have a reading in 10 seconds and then we go to the questions. Okay, so I'm taking the questions now. I put the case here. Question will come on the left side of my screen. So when you answer, please write, this is our question 1. So question 1, A, B, C, D, like that. See, you have to read the question carefully. Huh? I want the best option. Best option. That is why, see, if you read this, all 4 would fall in the correct answer option, but the best is the one that defines that absolutely clearly. So we go for 1C. Yeah. So we had Alok saying, so I'll read for all of these questions, I'll read the person who gives the right answer. Okay. So Alok, Piyush, they've correctly answered. Anchal has answered correctly. Then Karthik, Mauli, and Jyoti. Yeah. And Dhyanesh and Pritika. Good. Next question. Take your time. By the time I'll read other people also. Sharon also answered correctly. Yeah, look. Yes, yes, yes. And the question was very specific, mobile. It was written in the question. So that it was basically to make the answer easy. Okay. Second. So Shreya, I understand Shreya also said C. Pritika has said C. Then Kiran also C. Let us see the correct answer. Oh, C is the correct answer. So C was correct. Good. There are a lot of inefficiencies built into ABD. So it's a technology. You have to do it on a technology way. Yeah. I think this all I have. Okay. So Shreya, Pritika, Kiran, Karthik, Jyoti, Dhyanesh, Piyush, Khojema, Aanchal, Mohammed, Manoj, Jyoti, okay, Mauli, Vinay, Mohammed Abid. Everyone has answered correctly. Good. Let us go to the next one. Okay. So third was a giveaway. E-wallet. So correct answers. Jyoti, Karthik, Vinay, Alok, Shreya, Kojema, Mohammed. Yeah, B. Then Pritika. Alok, I did say it. Aadhaar enabled payment system. Someone did put Aadhaar, so I read this word. AEPS is Aadhaar enabled payment system. So what I know right now, this is basically used by government. So it is you and me are probably not available. Used by government, that direct benefit transfer of subsidies. It is Aadhaar linked. So that is AEPS, Aadhaar enabled payment system. Piyush, yeah, 3B. Then Kiran 3B, Manoj, yeah. Charan also 3B. Okay, next one. Uh, we might not have read it this specifically in this chapter, but we created references of this in previous chapters. Okay, Pavan, I'll explain. Let us complete this. I think you are talking of question 3. We go back to. Yes, so this was also a giveaway. So Karthik, Jyoti, Vinay, Pritika, Manoj, Shreya, Kojema, Piyush, Mohammed, yeah, Dhyanesh, Kiran. Okay. This you have to answer by your common sense. Okay. You must have read the law where customer can take recourse. Get recourse means to get solution to the problem. The keyword is customer. Then we had Alok also B, fourth question, Achal. Yeah, Mauli also correct. I think Pavan has answered the last question, C. Yeah. C is Karthik. Let us see the correct answer. C. So Karthik is also correct. Jyoti is correct. Then Mohammed is correct. Achal is correct. Vinay is also correct. Dhyanesh is correct. Shreya, Jyoti, Khojema, Sharan. Yeah, Mohammed Abid is also correct. Okay. So let us go to the question. Yeah. No, C, it was B. I don't know. Which question it was? Pavan, which question you wanted me to explain C answer? Let me go to. Okay, I think this was the question. Oh, that is the. If please update. Is this the question, Pavan, you wanted me to explain? That is the only way available. Others are time consuming, not valid. Okay. So that is there. Just 30 seconds more for query. We are Yeah, we are absolutely on time. Okay, Pawan. Yeah, yeah. So that is the best way, Pawan. Okay. See, send OTP on mobile or email. See, please understand. See, when you're creating a technology solution, when you're creating a technology infrastructure, so the process flow parameters have to be technology driven. So that is the basic issue. Okay. Next, you'll get difficult one. Karthik, I'll give difficult one. Sharp on time. Okay. So thank you. So I'll just, with your permission, let us check the score that we did today. So today's score is 450. Great. Thank you. So let us close it. So we are closing. Any more query? 30 seconds I'm giving. If you have any query. Okay. So no queries. Thank you. Good night. We'll meet again for this same chapter.